So guys, it's been a few days now since we got the Avengers Doomsday cast reveal. It broke the internet, people went crazy. We got our first bunch of characters and actors that have been confirmed for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie. Now that we've had time to kind of sit and digest the information, we have 5 major reveals that we've learned from that cast announcement that we're going to go through in this video. Major implications for the MCU going forward, so pretty exciting information here, guys. But before we get started talking about that 5 major reveals from the cast announcement, I just want to go over and take a look at this, guys. So when I say that this casting announcement broke the internet, this is what I'm talking about. So we have some statistics of what happened during the Marvel live stream. So according to Deadline, the live stream pulled in 275 million digital views, which is incredible in itself, and 3.1 million social media mentions during its 5-hour and 27-minute runtime, which is 5 times the social volume of Deadpool and Wolverine, the Super Bowl trailer from last year. And we all remember how big the Super Bowl trailer from Deadpool and Wolverine was, and it was 5 times the social media volume. That's insane. They add that hour over hour, the audience grew into what is now the most viewed cross-platform live stream ever. On YouTube, the live stream was number 2 on trending at the end of the day, while on X, Avengers Doomsday held the number 1 trending spot for over 7 hours and generated over 55 distinct trending terms throughout the day. So that's some of the statistics there on just how big that live Marvel stream was. A lot of people didn't really like the way that they formatted the casting announcement, and I can kind of understand to a point, because people who are busy, it doesn't feel inclusive to everybody, because a lot of people don't have the time to sit there for 5.5 hours to watch an entire live stream to announce 20 different characters. It doesn't feel inclusive of everyone. If I wanted to sit there and watch the live stream, I don't have 5.5 hours to sit there. I'm just talking from a metaphorical standpoint. I actually watched the entire thing, but I'm just saying a lot of people don't have the time, so it didn't work for a lot of people. But again, looking at these statistics, it did exactly what it needed to. It blew up the internet, and we may see more of these kind of announcements in the near future. So anyway, going back over to the article here, let's get into this list here of 5 announcements that came out of that live stream. So starting off here at number 5. Well, that's the Thunderbolts spoiled them. So it goes without saying, this could potentially be seen as spoiler, but I mean, I guess the casting announcement was a public thing, so is it spoilers? I'm not really sure. It's up to you to make your mind up. But let's get into this anyway. So Thunderbolts stars the following cast. We already know that by now, so I'm not going to repeat all the names. We know that they're now confirmed to appear in Avengers Doomsday. We've known since last year's San Diego Comic-Con that the team thought to be the new Avengers would factor into the movie. However, this lineup is itself a pretty big Thunderbolts spoiler. The cast reveal confirms characters listed above all survived the events of the upcoming movie, and crucially point to Taskmaster biting the dust. Yeah, so Taskmaster was the only character that wasn't mentioned in this casting announcement. As we were going down the line of deck chairs and each name of each actor was revealed, Taskmaster was the only one that was missing. Her absence from all except one sequence in the trailers as well was a giveaway, but now we know, and the Sentry sticking around is cool though. So yeah, I mean, Lewis Pullman was on one of the deck chairs, so we know that he's going to be in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie, which is pretty damn cool having the Sentry in there, because he's a huge character in the comics. But again, if you're a fan of Taskmaster, you may be a little bit disappointed knowing that she's not going to be sticking around. So moving on to number 4. Sue Storm and Namor in the same movie is a big deal. Yeah, this is a big thing in the comic books. They had like a romantic on-again, off-again relationship to some degree. I'm not a major comic book historian, so I'm not going to pretend I know everything about what happened between the 2 characters, but I do know that they have a big crossover at some point in the comics. So in the early Fantastic Four comic books, there was something of a love triangle going on with Reed Richards, Namor the Submariner, and the object of their affections, Sue Storm. Namor later kidnapped the Invisible Woman, though she's shown an attraction to him on several occasions since. They've never had an affair. What a scandal that would be. But their dynamic is an interesting one, and as is Mr. Terrific's disdain for the Atlantean. With the Fantastic Four cast and Tenoch Huerta, Namor, all confirmed for Avengers Doomsday, we're hoping these characters will share the screen. It's one of those comic booky meetings we never expected to see, and would be a blast to watch unfold. Yeah, I mean, having a scene there with like a love triangle, imagine we've got we've got Mr. Fantastic, we've got Namor, and we've got the Invisible Woman all standing, having a conversation with this really weird kind of love triangle awkwardness going on screen. It'd be something like really difficult to watch and awkward, but you know, it'd be something that would represent the comics, and I think fans would appreciate that kind of callback to those early Fantastic Four comics. So moving on to number 3, Avengers vs. X-Men. This is something that I cannot wait to see. I mean, seeing these Fox characters coming over into the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a dream come true for so many movie fans. It really, really is. To see the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters interacting with the Fox characters. We never thought, you know, 10 years, 15 years ago, we never thought we'd ever see this. And the fact that we're getting this now is just unreal. While we've long speculated that this might be the case, the addition of several X-Men franchise actors all but confirms it. We're getting like Magneto, we're getting Charles Xavier, we're getting Nightcrawler, you know, we're getting Cyclops, Mystique, these crazy, crazy characters, man. It's going to be so cool. With the Marvels standing Monica Rambeau on what we have to imagine is Earth 10005, the stage has been set for Avengers vs. X-Men for a while now. Some might argue it would have been far more effective title for this movie than Avengers Doomsday, but with the incursion likely to bring their two worlds together, showing Earth 616 Avengers battling those classic X-Men actors should be a major selling point. Yeah, it seems kind of weird though, because Avengers vs. X-Men vs. Avengers, or Avengers vs. X-Men, whichever you want to call it, you would think that that's such a big event within the timeline that it would have its own movie. It wouldn't be inside a Doomsday movie. I would have felt it would be its own thing and its own movie that they would want to concentrate on, rather than having it as a subplot within a Doomsday movie. But that's just me. Maybe they're going for a different direction. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. So they no doubt eventually team up, of course, and it feels like a fitting way to say goodbye to an era of mutants before Marvel Studios' planned reboot. Even if it's the kind of what Deadpool and Wolverine set out to do last year. So yeah, I mean, they're talking about the next phase is going to be the mutant saga. Whether that actually happens or not, a lot of people are speculating that there could be a soft reboot into the MCU after these next two Avengers movies. So there's a lot of speculation onto where they're going to go next with the mutants, the Fox X-Men characters and all this kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see what happens after these Avengers movies. Moving on to number 2, the new Illuminati. This is going to be an interesting one. We're definitely in speculation territory here, but it's not hard to come up with a version of the Illuminati from that impressive Avengers Doomsday cast list. During Jonathan Hickman's build to Secret Wars, this group played a key role in protecting Earth 616 from incursions. Who could assemble this clandestine organization in the MCU? How about Professor X, Beast, Mr. Fantastic, Black Panther, and Captain America? Even though he's not in the cast list. Yeah, I mean, Chris Evans wasn't on the cast announcement, the big MCU casting announcement for Doomsday, but a lot of people have speculated that he is coming back and that there are more characters to be revealed for this upcoming movie, that there may be another kind of reveal event going on to reveal more characters, or maybe they're just intentionally keeping some characters secret for, you know, obviously for pops within the movie, so we'll have to wait and see. He's not in the cast list, but you can throw Doctor Strange in for good measure. Yeah, the fact that Doctor Strange wasn't there as well is kind of crazy, because Benedict Cumberbatch has come out in interviews and confirmed that he's coming back for the movie. So the fact that he wasn't in the cast reveal is kind of a bit strange. There are rumblings about a new Illuminati forming in Avengers Doomsday, and we bet on some more multiversal variants. We don't know about joining the characters above. Marvel Studios didn't do the best of jobs with them in Doctor Strange sequel, so this could make things right. Yeah, obviously we got some variants within the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Ultimately, it was more of a cameo kind of. It felt like a cameo kind of B-roll within the movie, if you like. It didn't really go anywhere, the Illuminati, but it was still pretty cool to see him there. So moving on to number 1, probably the most important factor here, Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom. So, while we wouldn't read too much into the placement of those chairs in the reveal video, you can't tell us that it wasn't a coincidence that the video ended with Pedro Pascal's name right before Robert Downey Jr. I absolutely noticed that myself. When Pedro Pascal, then it moved to Robert Downey Jr., that was absolutely there intentionally. They did that on purpose. Those two characters who have the main kind of story and the narrative thread, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool that they did that. Marvel Studios hadn't had time to establish Downey's Doctor Doom before Avengers Doomsday, though that doesn't mean that the movie can't still explore his hatred for Reed Richards. Heck, these two might even hail from the same world, which is what we're hoping for anyway. With any luck, the Russo brothers have found a way to make this conflict central to the narrative of the story of Avengers Secret Wars. It does run the risk of feeling rushed, but the Fantastic Four First Steps is hopefully going to lay the groundwork. Yeah, they're saying that when it comes to Secret Wars, Doomsday and Fantastic Four are going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here, as we haven't established Doom yet. I mean, you think how many movies established Thanos over the course of what, like 10 different movies? I mean, we got him in the background, we got kind of what he is, his purpose, where he comes from, his origin, kind of the way he thinks about things, and it kind of built up to him before we got to Infinity War. And then, I mean, with Doctor Doom, we haven't had any build-up, we don't know anything about him, he hasn't been referenced to, so I think the Doomsday movie is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting before we get into Secret Wars and stuff like that, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out as well. But guys, that's the 5 major points we take away from the casting announcement. Let's just reiterate them before we finish off. So, Thunderbolts is spoiled with basically Taskmaster not being in the announcement. She could possibly die off early in the movie. Sue Storm and Namor is going to be in the same movie, that love triangle, which is going to be an interesting dynamic. Avengers vs X-Men, something that people have been waiting for years and years to see Avengers taking on X-Men. That's going to be a dream come true for a lot of people. Number 2, a new Illuminati, potentially, looking after Earth 616 from Incursions. That could be an interesting dynamic, although that's heavily speculated. That's probably not going to happen, but we'll wait and see. And then number 1, Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom, both being revealed back to back on those deck chairs in the Marvel Reveal live stream. And yeah, so there's a lot to take away here, guys. There's a lot to dig into. And as fans of the MCU, we like to, we like to go through this news with a fine-tooth comb and pick up any information and news that we possibly can. And it's really, really exciting time to be a movie fan. It really is, guys. But jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this news and information. What did you take away from the Marvel live stream? What got you most excited for the upcoming Avengers movies? Which character was you most excited to see? And what do you think about these 5 points that we learned from the casting announcement? As always, guys, thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't done so far. I would love to have you guys on board as subscribers. That would mean a lot to me. And as always, I will see you in the next video.